Hello everyone, welcome back to the Violet Hour. I'm Bilicium, and today we are continuing with Death Mark II. And unfortunately we cannot stay to listen to this epic breakdown ballad, but we are going to continue forward with facing off against, I believe, the Departed. It's time to go to the clock tower. The Departed awaits. Yes. So we're going to go from the new building to the connected corridor. Ooh. I almost thought the music was going to follow us. I wouldn't be against it, but yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, welcome back. We are going to be facing off against the Departed, I do believe. In the last episode, we lost, we found out the history of the Departed, and we lost our compatriot. And we also lost Doryu. And yeah, we're going to be going to the clock tower to face our bride to be, which is a bit terrifying, really. I didn't expect to be getting married so young. The clock tower. The Departed must be waiting inside to exchange vows with their groom, me. Once I step inside here, the case is coming to some kind of conclusion. Though there is one matter left that I need to resolve before I enter this place, and that is the true identity of the Departed. Who has been hiding here in Konohara Academy? In the Red Wedding Hall, please call the name of your bride, who is hiding in school. Reading the notice, it seems like they want an answer. I won't have time to think about this once I'm inside. So now's the only time I'll have to think it over. There will be crucial choices after this. Once you make your choice, you won't be able to return to the infirmary until the story progresses. You may want to collect more lost souls and sacred objects and save your progress. I'd love to, but I have all of the lost souls and sacred objects I can have in this chapter. Shall we solve the Departed's mystery? Yeah, there's literally nothing more for us to do. First of all, I have some speculations about their identity. About 100 years ago, there were brides who were brutally murdered during a wedding ceremony in M Town, harboring grudges against all the residents while still longing for marriage. They were devoured by insects and mold. Their enormous grudges turned them into the Departed, that much we know. Now the real question is, how did the Departed hide in the school? Toshihiko Izumi said the Departed was pretending to be a human. If he was telling the truth, I have a feeling they transformed into someone I know. They would want to observe their groom, me, from nearby. People of Konohara Academy who interacted with me. Many of them were victims in the spirit cases. Naomi Horikoshi, Shinichi Kakuta, Ritsu Sakamoto. They're no longer here. I couldn't protect them. The ones who are still alive are the headmaster, Shizo Konoha, Himiko Doryu, Haru Akai Abai, and Saki Maru Hashi. and Michiho Kinakawa, whose status is unknown. Michiho died at the clock tower last night, but if she was the departed, her death would not prove her innocence. There's also the matter of the things we noticed at her dorm room. There's clearly something odd about that room. It's safe to say Michiho is a prime suspect. Let's start deducing now. Assuming the departed is among the ones still alive, we can exclude Mr. Konoe and Abe. The departed is said to be a bride, and the ones who hold the grudge are female, so it stands to reason that they'd transform into a girl. This is still just conjecture, obviously, but without solid evidence, I'm going to have to make some assumptions to narrow down the suspects to the most likely candidates. So that was what I was saying in a previous episode, is I feel like we can remove all male candidates because the bride would not be wanting to be seen as male. What about Maruhashi? I didn't meet her until Master Kokoru's case. Before that, the departed attacked both I and Sho after learning about my friendship with them. Maruhashi doesn't know that they're my friends, so the chance of her being the departed are slim. Yeah, I don't believe it's her. Doryu is rather suspicious. Together with Michiho, she's been helping me from the very beginning. Additionally, she knows all about the case and is quite interested in me. We can assume Himiko Doryu is a suspect. I agree. This is just a possibility, but if Michiho or Doryu are the departed, their smiles when they called my name and when they told me they believed in me, it all came from the dead. That reality would be a bitter pill to swallow. However, there's still another possibility, and that's the fact that Izumi might not have been telling the truth. Izumi was going insane at that time. He might not have intended to lie, though that's not to say that he didn't lie either. If we consider that possibility, the female doll would seem suspicious. We were eaten by Mashikabi. Her last words matched the ritual scene I saw in my mind, especially because the word "we" would refer to the two brides. Two souls with the same resentment turned into a single spirit, and that spirit is the departed. The possibility is there. Can we assume the female doll is also a suspect? Unlike the detective novel or a police drama, we're not just going to turn up definitive evidence in a spirit case like this. Despite that, I still have to make a choice. Among the three likely candidates, which is the departed? I can't afford to make a mistake. Michiho Kinakawa is... She's not the departed. Himiko Doryu is... She is the departed. The female doll is... not the departed. Doryu is the departed, not Michio or the female doll. Is this my final answer? I want to rethink it because I think that it's Michio and Doryu, and I want to go with that, I think. Well, no. we're gonna stick with it. Doryu is the departed. That is my final answer. I think based off of the evidence that we have and with my speculations going throughout the game, I have suspected her early on. She has been very minimal contact, so we never really got full information on her. And her personality is very limited. She doesn't have a lot going for her in regards to who she is as a person. She doesn't seem to have really any activities outside of, oh, she likes to read books and she's the president, student council president. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like she's too flat of a character. Michiho had so much personality that I was very surprised when they were like, oh, she's this or that. But I do think that Michiho is possibly like another bride, so to speak. Like, they're both brides. One is the mold and one is the bugs. It's kind of how I see it, and that's why one is marked with the white hair and one is marked with a tattoo on the face. I know my answer. Time to go to the clock tower. Everything will be clear there, whether I like it or not. The door to the clock tower is open. The departed is waiting for me up ahead. I can't even imagine what will happen next. I inhale the clear night air and breathe it out. Then I push the door open.
Yoshi.
The cabinet with old books inside. There's nothing there but books and junk now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up. Interesting. What in the world? There are red handprints all over the wall. There's red mold, not blood, the same type of mold as the one on the notices. The tower wasn't like this before. The clock tower has changed. This is also the work of the departed? Ugh. What is this dreadful sensation filling the air? The power of the curse is overwhelming. I have to put an end to it quickly. One arm-shaped clump of mold is emerging from the wall. Cool. A floor that is a questionable place. We got nothing to say about that handprint, okay. Two arm-shaped clumps of red mold are emerging from the wall. This place is... It doesn't make sense. Why am I back in the room filled with handprints? Something beyond my comprehension is happening right now. Shit, this is bad. The curse is slowly eating my body. My body won't last if I don't put a stop to this right now. Why am I back here again? Okay, up. Okay, I'm gonna die. Up. Down. Up. Four arm-shaped clumps of red mold are emerging from the walls. Fore is down. Oh no. What's that? Something's rolling on the floor. This is... the broken remains of the female doll. But how? What happened? With the pain from the curse and the agitation from the surprise, my head's about to burst. Calm down. Just calm your ass down. So I say to myself over and over again. Then I inspect the broken female doll. Her limbs are missing, only her head, dress, and some broken pieces remain. When I look closely at the broken pieces, I see something resembling teeth marks. This is most likely from a bite. Was she devoured by the departed? The departed grew stronger after devouring the doll, which turned the lights in the special building red. It does make sense. I hear a faint voice. Is this the doll's voice? Take me. Me. What do you want to say? Eat me. Protect you from red curse. Her voice goes silent. What did the female doll say? Take me, eat me to protect you from the red curse. I still don't get it. However, this doll mustered all of her remaining strength just to say that to me, so I can't ignore her words. I'd better take her corpse with me. Obtained the head of the female doll. Obtained a red dress. The malicious disturbance that was happening in this place has subsided. It makes me feel a little bit better. Is this all thanks to this female doll? Confrontation with the departed has been added to the spirit file. The departed harbors a massive grudge while also longing to exchange vows with their groom. A document I found on M-Town ceremony mentions that the etiquette and tools used all have great significance. I need to remember all of this in case some trivial thing can be used against the departed. The female doll's last words concern me. She told me to bring her to protect myself. What did she mean by the red curse and eat me? Do I really have to? Nothing makes sense. So much is at stake. Who do I believe? Who do I doubt? Time's running out. I have to make a decision.
Yoshi.
5 arm-shaped clump of red mold are emerging from the wall. The fragments of the female doll are scattered on the floor. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. What does it mean? So we go up again. So I realized the up, down, 2 and 4 were upside down. So the ladders that go down are actually going up still. Or at least that's how I believe it's supposed to make sense. I climb the ladder once again. Where will this ladder take me this time? Will I end up climbing the clock tower for all eternity without an exit? My mind conjures up numerous ominous predictions like this, one after another. No, we got this. Don't worry about it. Except I know that I can't be how this ends. What the departed wants is a wedding ceremony, and a groom is needed for that to happen. I guess this ladder is like a vertical wedding aisle. and waiting for me at the end will be my bride. I find myself in a bright red room. The stone walls and floors are covered with red mold. There are strange plants growing on the floor that look like overgrown moss. A sight that you'll never see in nature. Did the departed cause this paranormal phenomenon? There's an altar in the middle of the room. It's an altar that would be the center of a Western-style wedding. This'll be the end of my walk down the aisle then. I take the notice out and check it. The day to exchange vows has arrived. I shall be waiting for you under the oath bell. Please come after you count. 1 is up, 2 is down, 3 is up, 4 is down, 5 is up. After that, in the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. Your beloved, the departed. In the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. This place must be the red wedding hall. Then I should call the departed by the name they've been using at school. Right, the very name I have guessed. I wonder if there's a reason why they want me to call them by their name here. Perhaps the departed wishes to have a groom that really knows every single thing about his bride. Everything, even their terrifying secrets. I'm breathing with him here. We should all just take some deep breaths together. Just in through the nose, out through the mouth. It's gonna be fine. The departed, who has been hiding in Konohara Academy. Your real name is Himiko Doryu. My voice echoes through the room. There's no answer at all, only the heavy silence filling the air. Oh my God, am I wrong? The room is filling with mold. It's getting hard to breathe. I'm wrong. Good Lord. You did not get it. No, I was wrong. I believed in you. What a shame, dear husband. I hear a voice from behind me. Don't ruin it. Please don't ruin it. Okay, here's the deal, guys. If this is ruined, I have to cut it out so that you don't know. And we have to do it all over again. And when I turn around... Please don't spoil the ending. Please don't spoil the ending. You are not my real husband. Still, I love you. Let us exchange a brief vow. Can I bite you? Oh. Thank you, dear husband. Goodbye. Oh, that was horrible. But I'm actually so glad that I got a bad ending. Moving on to our next something. Earlier today, we received a report that a man had collapsed at Konohara Academy in H City, Tokyo. The man has now been confirmed dead. The police are currently investigating the case. Injuries all over, bites, something. Ho ho! How wonderful is that? Okay, so I just watched the credits afterwards, and I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm not gonna have you guys watch it because we're gonna watch the credits together at the end, like I always do. But I loved it. I loved seeing all of the names of the voice actors and all of the people involved in making this game, from the background designs to the character designs to the monster designs, and it was very, very cool. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like we've come to the end, and it's sort of sad to know that this is coming to an end, and that we have kind of eaten through this game so quickly, but it has been so good. I have been looking forward to playing it. I have been desperately wanting to like put more out as quickly as possible for you guys, because I'm just I really love this series. I love Deathmark. I loved NG. I absolutely I feel like Deathmark 2 just really took the best of those two games and put it together and brought new tricks, like brought new inventive ideas to the table. They're getting better at telling their stories. They're getting better at just video games in that kind of visual novel / horror genre. They're so good. And they're not like other games that I've played. So like for me, I can't really compare them to another horror game. They're not like, Fatal Frame. They're just not. They're just a different genre, and not better or worse. They just approach the process in a very different way. And I really love the way they approach it. It's so nice to me. There's something cozy about sitting down with this game and making it kind of feel like a visual novel, where you don't really feel like you're playing a video game. You're not struggling over how to, remember combinations of fights and stuff, but then there's still that aspect of you don't want to mess things up. Or if you're me, you do want to mess things up because you want to see an ending like that. That was epic. It was such a good ending, and I'm so glad they didn't spoil who it was so that you can go back and play again. And I was so worried about it. I don't know why. They've always been so good about that. But I felt that nervousness of like, oh no, they're gonna spoil it by showing. And they don't. And that's so fantastic. So anyways, now let's spoil some shit. Resume in the infirmary. Do you want to resume from when you left the infirmary? Yes. But yeah, I wanted to kind of just share that with you guys because, wow, it was very exciting. And I keep talking over this song, by the way, because I am afraid of copyrights. But we are going to, what am I trying to say? We are going to go to the connecting quarter. So I think what I will do is I will actually do a separate video that is allowing that song to play without me interfering with it. And that way, if you guys want to listen to it, you can. And if it gets banned for copyright stuff, you know, it can be taken down and it won't disrupt the series. But I'm just so afraid that I will end up having like this very last episode taken down because of me. Whew. All right, are we ready to make another choice? The clock tower. The departed must be waiting inside to exchange vows with their groom, me. Once I step inside here, this case is coming to some kind of conclusion. Though there is one matter left that I need to resolve before I enter this place, and that is the true identity of the departed, who has been hiding here in Konohara Academy. In the Red Wedding Hall, please call the name of your bride, who is hiding in school. Reading the notice, it seems like they want an answer. I won't have time to think about this once I'm inside, so now's the only time I have to think it over. There will be a crucial choice after this. Once you make your choice, you won't be able to return to the infirmary until the story progresses. You may want to collect more lost souls and sacred objects and save your progress first. Shall we solve the departed's mystery? Yes. Amongst the three likely candidates, which is the departed? I can't afford to make a mistake. Michiho Kinikawa is... She is the departed. Himiko Doryu is... Not the departed. The female doll is... Not the departed? Michio is the departed, not Doryu or the female doll. Is this my final answer? Let's give it some more thought. Can I make more than one my final answer? Michio Kinakawa is the departed. Doryu is not the departed. The female doll is the departed. Michiho and the female doll are the departed, but not Doryu. This is my final answer. Yes. This is my final deduction. Yes. This changes everything if I'm allowed to have two choices. Interesting. I know my answer. Time to go to the clock tower. Everything will be clearer there, whether I like it or not. The door to the clock tower is open. The departed is waiting for me up ahead. I can't even imagine what will happen next. We are going to jump ahead here. I am so curious as to how this is going to work out with two names, especially since we're going to come across the doll in a minute. This will be very interesting. So, I'm not going to read through this because we already know the trick to it and the answer. So we're going to go up, down, up, down, What's that? Something's rolling on the floor. This is... the broken remains of the female doll. But how? What happened? With the pain from the curse and the agitation from the surprise, my head's about to burst. Calm down. Just calm your ass down. So I say to myself over and over again. Then I inspect the broken female doll. Her limbs are missing. Only her head, dress, and some broken pieces remain. When I look closely at the broken pieces, I see something resembling teeth marks. This is most likely from a bite. Was she devoured by the departed? The departed grew stronger after devouring the doll, which turned the lights in that special building red. It really makes sense, but if my deduction is correct, then this doll is supposed to be the departed. That said, the departed is quite clever, so there might be some ulterior motive behind this move. I like it. I hear a faint voice. Is this the doll's voice? Take me. Eat me. What do you want to say? Eat me. Protect you. From red curse. Her voice goes silent. What did the female doll say? Take me, eat me to protect you from the red curse. I still don't get it, however. She is the departed, and the departed is very cunning. This could be some kind of ruse. There's no need for me to heed her words. The malicious disturbance that was happening in this place has subsided. It makes me feel a little bit better. Is it because the female doll is broken? Interesting. I'm so glad that I did this choice. Nothing makes sense. So much is at stake. Who do I believe? Who do I doubt? Time's running out. I have to make a decision. Interesting. Okay. Can I pick up her head? The female doll's head and dress are on the floor. So it won't allow me to pick it up now because I have suspected her.
Yoshi.
Wild. So we're gonna get a weird ending because of this, because I do suspect we need her head and dress and all of that. I climb the ladder once again. Where will this ladder take me this time? Will I end up climbing the clock tower for all eternity without an exit? My mind conjures up numerous ominous predictions like this, one after another. Except I know that I can't be how this ends. What the departed wants is a wedding ceremony, and a groom is needed for that to happen. I guess this ladder is like a vertical wedding aisle, and waiting for me at the end will be my bride. And here we are again. And this, I think, is going to be another failure, which I'm okay with, because I do like getting all the failures out of the way first before I get the successes. But I do believe this is going to be a failure. I find myself in a bright red room. The stone walls and floors are covered with red mold. There are strange plants growing on the floor that look like overgrown moss. A sight that you'll never see in nature. Did the departed cause this paranormal phenomena? There's an altar in the middle of the room. It's an altar that would be the center of a Western-style wedding. This'll be the end of my walk down the aisle, then. I take the notice out to check it. Dear husband, the day to exchange vows has arrived. I shall be waiting for you under the oath bell. Please come after you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, in the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. Your beloved, the departed. In the red wedding hall, please call the name of the bride who is hiding in school. This place must be the red wedding hall. Then I should call the departed by the name they've been using at school, right? The very name I have guessed. I wonder if there's a reason why they want me to call them by their name here. Perhaps the departed wishes to have a groom that really knows every single thing about them. Everything, even their terrifying secrets. The departed who has been hiding in Konohara Academy. Your real name is Michio Kinakawa and the female doll. My voice echoes through the room. There's no answer at all, only the heavy silence filling the air. It will not be different this time, huh? The room is filling with mold. It's getting hard to breathe. Good Lord. You did not get it. Oh, so it's gonna be the exact same ending. No! I was wrong! I believed in you. What a shame. I hear a voice from behind me. And when I turn around, dead. I'm so excited. Alright guys, welcome back. So, we tried Doryu. That was not the right answer. We tried Michio and the doll, and that was not the answer. Which leads me to believe that it's Michio and Doryu, which is originally what I thought. There's two brides, one for mold and one for insects. Michio is, I believe, the bride with the insects. Doryu is the bride with the mold. And this doll, I think, is sort of there's something different about them. I believe that they are the spirits of the, how would I say it? Like their humanity or something along those lines is kind of how I take it. And Doryu and Michio are the released vengeance or released grudge. And I believe they all used to be within the doll itself, but now it is just the leftover humanity. Yes, this is my final deduction. And I do want the doll's head and dress because I do feel that it is important. So, I am not. I am not going to choose them. Whether or not they are them, I don't know. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go down. I'm still at 49, which I think is amazing, by the way. That you can speed through this so quickly that you don't even lose like 1 health going through that whole process. So yes, this is very exciting to me. Oh, I don't want to do that. I wonder if there's a reason why they want me to call them by their name here. Perhaps the departed wishes to have a groom that really knows every single thing about his bride. Everything, even their terrifying secrets. The departed who has been hiding in Konohara Academy. Your real name is Michiho Kinakawa and Himiko Doryu. My voice echoes throughout the room. There's no answer, not at all. Only the heavy silence filling the air. I expected nothing less of you, my dear husband. I believed in you. Two people appear before my eyes. Doryu and Michio. I was hoping I was wrong. However, my guess was on the mark. Dear husband, we've been watching you while hiding in the school the whole time. Dear husband, we've tested you to see if you're worthy of being our real husband or not. Both of them sound dead. Their eyes are lifeless. They don't look like the Doryu and Michio I came to know. You two are the departed's brides, the Mayumara sisters, Mikio and Michio Mayumara. Right, sisters, was the key to unlocking the truth. The departed wasn't just one entity hiding at the school, it was two. I had proof that Michio was the departed, which meant that the person who received the curse at the same time would also be the departed. Doryu, bearing that mark on her face, is displaying the evidence that she's indeed the departed as well. Then, are you the ones who cause all those spirits to appear? That is correct. So the spirits I saw clinging to Doryu's back was fake. The groom only needs his bride. The bride only needs her groom. Everyone else is unnecessary. If they're allowed to keep using the dead to cause more casualties, the damage will be incalculable as their victims become new spirits. More and more people will die until the bride and groom are all that remain. That's the ending the departed desires. I have to stop this twisted madness at any cost. Dear husband, you have shown us your brilliant intelligence. You managed to learn the truth about us without being deceived by sympathy or fake deaths. Dear husband, you have shown us your impeccable lineage. Due to your bloodline, you were able to see, hear, and face the spirits. Dear husband, you have shown us your stunning personality. Having formed an emotional bond with us brides, you mustered up the courage to push through your fears for us. You're not like those weak, fragile, beheaded men, or the coward who fled from the notice. You're different from those fake grooms. Dear heavens, you truly are our real husband. What are you going to do with me? We are the departed's brides and groom. Let us exchange our marriage vows in this red wedding hall and spend our days in this Mashikabi chamber forever after. That is the happy ending we long for. But Mikio, dear husband, looks delicious. I can't control myself anymore. Dear husband,
your body.
Can I bite you? Ho ho ho! Michiho's face changes before my eyes. How terrifying. Is this the departed's true form? I wanna bite, husband. Every time she speaks, the insects come out of her mouth, move their legs. What is that black liquid dripping from her mouth? Is that her saliva? Does she see me as food? I'm completely disoriented. My mind can't process everything before me. I feel like the last thin thread of my sanity is going to snap. Do not rush, Michio. We must exchange vows first. Days, weeks, and months from now, our husband's body shall be dyed in Mushikaibi's color. His organs shall be infested with mold, and he'll be filled with insects, making him beautiful. We need to wait until that time, all right? Wanna bite? Bite! What a troublesome child. Dear husband, you are a bad man because you really do look delicious. Dear husband, can I bite you? The mark on Durio's face starts spreading like mold, distorting her face. Is that unsightly look on her face supposed to be joy? I'm quaking in fear just looking at her. I can't even muster a scream. Want to bite, want to bite. Want to bite, 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 want to bite. They can no longer control their ravenous hunger. The figures of two brides who long for a wedding are no longer here. Instead, what I see now are two long dead spirits who are warped by madness. Mikio, shall we bite him together? Michio, let us bite him together. Durio and Michio look at each other. Then they hug one another. Their arms and legs intertwine, bodies pressed against body, sticking like glue. After repeating the same motion several times, the boundary between the two disappear and they have united into one. Look, dear husband, look at us. We have consumed the scarlet marionette. Ho ho ho. And when the candlesticks is relit, dear husband, am I beautiful now? My mind and body are overwhelmed by fear, like I'm a toad being hypnotized by a serpent. The departed has gained a new form from the swirling red mold, a grotesque-looking demon coming out of a doll's bulging belly. I can feel her intense emotion as her 4 eyes stare me down. And that emotion is desire. The scarlet desire to devour their beloved and usher them to their demise. Can I? Is it even possible to save them? Dear husband, let me bathe all of you in the color of insects. A flood of insects issues forth from their mouth and assaults me. If this keeps up, I'll be eaten alive by bugs. But I can't give up here. What should I do? Whew, now the fun begins. Dried up frog. Hold towards the insects, yes.
Yoshi.
Whoosh. I hold up the dried up frog to cover myself from the attacking bugs. It's gonna be successful. It's gonna be successful. It's not gonna be a failure. Alright, yeah. I hold up the dried frog in front of me. The moment I lay my hands on the frog, I remember what that voice told me earlier. Frogs drive away bugs. This might work then. The departed nears as the insects pour forth an attack. But then the insects disperse into the darkness to avoid the frog. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed shrieks in anger upon seeing the insects leave. They seem to be muttering something. What the heck are they saying? Bugs? No. Is it mold? Just as I think that to myself, a sharp pains run through my arm. Mold starts growing on my arm. So now they're going with mold, huh? I can feel the mold spreading throughout my body. I feel like vomiting. Dear husband, let me bathe you in the color of mold. I'll get consumed by mold at this rate. No time to sit around. I need to do something before this damn mold covers my whole body. Except I don't really have an idea of what I need to do. Let's believe there are clues somewhere, because if I don't do something, I'll be dead. The female doll's head. Eat a little bit. Grabbing the female doll's head, I try eating a piece of it. The moment I lay my hand on the doll's broken remains, I remember what the voice said at that time. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. A little bit nervous, I wearily take a bite of the female doll's head. It's an unpleasant sensation, like I'm chewing on a stone. Then a clay texture and taste starts to spread inside my mouth. Making up my mind, I swallow it down. At that moment, Both the mold and the unpleasant nausea disappears in an instant. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed sounds distraught after seeing both the insects and mold cleared away. Letting out a roar, they approach me. Are they going to eat me now? Can I bite you, my beloved husband? Let me bite you. Here we go again. The departed won't ever be satisfied until they kill me. Although, if the Mayamura sisters are the departed, do they really want my death? The Mayamura sisters long for a blissful marriage. Tell me, this bloody ritual can't be the dream wedding you always wanted. What is it that you really want? Dear husband. Is that their answer? They sound sad. Right at that moment, I hear something distant from a darkness shrouding my vision. Give it back. That voice just now. By give it back, do you mean... Shit, it's not working, huh? I'm pretty sure the voice just now was the departed's true feelings, but they've returned to being their mad monster form. Can I bite you? I guess you really can't communicate with a spirit, huh? But at least I got a clue now. I might be able to save the departed soul using that clue. Give it back. There's something I need to give back to them. It's probably something used in a celebration, given that is a wedding. Red spider lilies, vermilion ink, crimson dress. Interesting. So they were to present them with a red thread and smear ink on their teeth. Put the dress on the departed, smear on their teeth. The flower is meaningless. Alright, we're gonna try smearing this on the departed's teeth. Yes. I opened the vermilion ink. I opened the vermilion ink container and try to apply it to the departed's teeth. Okay, it was successful. Dipping my finger on the vermilion ink, I call out to the departed. Come closer, let me paint your teeth red. Dear husband. They wail, and insects come pouring out of their body. I immediately hold up the dried frog to repel the insects, though the frog ends up damaged. I need to step closer to paint the vermilion ink to the departed, but I also don't really want to go near them. I better come up with a different plan. Looks like this isn't the right choice. The thing that was stolen from them is probably the thing they want back. It's not only their lives, it's the happiness the Meumura sisters were supposed to receive. A wedding is an occasion where the bride is celebrated. What should I do as the groom? That's going to be 3. Do I give him the flower? All right, we're going to give her the flower. For passion, for independence, for acceptance, It's not the right answer. I remember seeing the florography for spider lilies in the book I read at the library. Was it acceptance? Let me give you a word of blessings. And that word is acceptance. Your soul should be saved now, not even a little bit. Dear husband. They wail and insects come pouring out of their body. Yeah. Spider lilies are not for acceptance. All right, we're giving you the dress. Pulling out the red dress, I try putting it on the departed. I don't know why I'm putting it on them, but I'm going to try. I unfold the dress and call out to the departed. Come closer, allow me to put this dress on you. And I die. Bilicium has run out of spirit. The investigation ends in failure. Aw, dang. Game over. Right at that moment, I hear some distant from the darkness shrouding my vision. Give it back. That voice just now. By give it back, do you mean... Shit, it's not working, huh? I'm pretty sure the voice just now was the departed's true feelings, but they've returned to being their mad monster form. Can I bite you? No. But I do appreciate that this monster asks for consent. Even if they forget that they actually have to respect said consent. So if I say no, it means no. No means no. Okay, third act. There's something I need to give back to them. It's probably something used in a celebration, giving that this is a wedding. We present the dress. Please be the correct answer. I carefully present the red dress to the departed. Please be correct. Holding the dress with both hands, I get down on my knees and offer it to the departed. I shall give you this dress. Vermilion thread, give. The departed mutters something with a smile. Did they just tell me to give them vermilion thread? I'm pretty sure this dress is made of red silk thread, so it should fit the bill. Is this the standard custom during a real wedding? Is this the celebration you want? The departed stares at me in silence. They seem somewhat bewildered. I guess this is evidence that I've stirred something in their heart. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed takes a slow, deep breath. Perhaps the departed longs to experience a traditional M-Town wedding ceremony. Remember the true vow you long for. The departed starts breathing heavily. Did that trigger a memory or something? Letting out a roar, they approach me. Can I bite you? Bite, 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 bite. Shit, guess that's not it. The departed has gone insane once again. They're on the verge of devouring me. However, there's no way I can give up here. Think, damn it, there must still be something I can do. Ooh, Act 4. What the departed probably wants is a traditional wedding. I believe the groom usually gives something to their bride, but it's still not enough. What else should I do? The red vermilion ink. Smear it on the departed's teeth. Yes. I open the vermilion ink container to apply it to the departed's teeth. Please be successful. Please be successful. Don't be a failure. Yes. Dripping my fingers with the vermilion ink, I call out to the departed. Let us exchange our wedding vows. Let me paint your teeth red. Dear husband, I feel like the departed isn't as deranged as they were before. Now is the time. I nervously extend the finger I've coated with vermilion ink toward the departed. This is what's written on the chief's priest notes I found in Mushi Kaibi Shrine. At wedding ceremonies in M-Town, the groom is supposed to give the bride vermilion thread and paint their teeth red. All the M-Town brides were overjoyed to be on the receiving end of this traditional practice. Using what I've got, a dress made with red silk thread would adequate to giving the bride vermilion thread, and smearing red ink on their teeth aligns with painting their teeth red with lipstick. So if I were to do that now, I gently smear the vermilion ink on the departed's teeth, giving them a blessing. The departed, this is the blessing that I, your groom, give to you, my bride. After a long silence, their lips curve into a smile. Then, dear husband, for so long, for so long, for you. After muttering such a thing, the departed disappears with a cry that is oddly neither filled with love nor hatred. Looks like this is the right choice. We survived. This should be good. Or is it? Did the departed regain their lost blessings so they can finally rest in peace? I really hope that's the case. However, a cold wind refuses to stop blowing through the gaping hole in my heart. Doryu, Michio. For a while, I simply stand rooted to the spot, stunned and distraught. Then I think about the way those girls simply disappeared without regaining their consciousness. I remember the look on their face when that happened. They were smiling for some reason. It's time to go. Now that I've managed to survive this ordeal somehow, there are some things that I must do. As I descend, I notice that the red handprints on the wall have now vanished. I assume that all the other strange phenomena have ceased after the departed's departure. The clock tower is frozen in time. Bet the hands won't move ever again. Because the two students who wanted to make that happen for the school's 70th anniversary are no longer with us. I better get out of here. Yasuka's waiting for me. The Departed's ending has been added to the spirit file. The vengeful Mayumura sisters who took Michiho and Doryu's bodies were the culprits. They longed for a happy marriage with their chosen groom, even after death. While I can't be their real husband, I hope the red thread and lipstick were enough to fulfill their wishes. The girls in my vision were school age. Were they able to wash away some of their resentment after experiencing their stolen youth? As a spirit doctor, I'd like to believe I set them free from their curse. I hope their smiles before they faded is the answer to my question. Mikiko Mayumura and Michio Mayumura have been added to the character file. I should let Yasuka know how this case ended. Welcome back, Bilicium. The spirit that was possessing Yasuka is gone now, and the light in the infirmary is no longer red. Is it over? Yeah. You did well. Where's Doryu? Bilicium? Yasuka looks at me with gentle eyes. She then follows with a slight nod, knowing. Things happen, I see. Just tell me whenever you're ready. No rush. I'm sorry. Want me to answer that? No, it's fine. I'll do it. Hello? Unfriendly voice. Try beating a bit more cheery, will ya? This annoying tone and these harsh words. You're alive! Mashita! Yup, I failed to die. I lost my phone, so I couldn't call. Took me a while to find a working public phone. Thank God you managed to escape. I was sprinting through that damn forest so hard I wanted to puke the whole time. They almost caught my ass several times, but luckily for me, they disappeared midway through the chase. They probably decided to go with their husband rather than playing tag with me. How did it go on your end? It's over. The departed has vanished. Oh, okay then. Did you save the departed? I think so. I don't know. I think so. I think I did. Then why do you sound like you're at a funeral Perk the fuck up, man. Mission accomplished. You should be proud of yourself. Nobody thinks you're cruel for doing what needed to be done. Sorry, but I'm not really in the mood for that. Yeah, not surprised at all. I'm heading there now. Give me the details once I'm there. Bye. That was Masha, wasn't it? I'm glad he's safe and sound. He said he's coming here. Shall we leave once he arrives then? You should rest, Bilicium. I'll contact the headmaster for you. Thanks, Yasuka. I'm touched by Yasuka's thoughtfulness. Since the last scene is still so vivid in my mind, I don't think I can deliver a professional report to the headmaster right now. By the way, Bilicium, why are you holding on to that? Oh, you mean this? I hadn't even realized it, but I'm clutching something I picked up in the clock tower. It's the female doll's head and dress. They saved my life. There's no particular reason. Maybe I'm just feeling sentimental.
H 市の空を冷たい秋の風が吹き抜ける。その夜、誰もいない学園から鳴り響く鐘を何人かの近隣住民が耳にした。鐘の音はすすり泣くような寂しく悲しげなものだったという。弔いの鐘とすれば、それは他がためのものなのか。怪異に呪われ殺されたこの事件の犠牲者たちか、あるいは死人にその身を奪われた姫子と日穂、遠い過去に死人の嫁入りで生き絶えた哀れな娘たちか。いずれにしても死人を取り巻く一連の怪事に終わりを告げる鐘なのかもしれない。だがこれで全てが終わりではない。仮にも怪異化を名乗るとすれば、魂の想念に触れたものとしてそれぞれの死をさらに深く見つめなくてはならない。たとえそこにいかなる恐怖や困難、痛みが待つとしても、あの日心に刻まれた印に、そして愛する者と亡き者たちに柔らかな日が差すその日まで。
That is the ending we wanted to see. Oh my goodness. Wow. So I am so happy that we got multiple endings in one go, really. Hopefully I can keep this all as one episode. I may have to split it up, but I'm gonna try my best to try and keep it as to one, even if it is very long. Wow. So final thoughts on this game, because I love to give you guys my final thoughts whenever I finish something like this. It gives the opportunity for all of the credits to run and all of these incredible, talented, amazing people to kind of get a moment on my channel, which I feel is very deserved in many of these games. So let me just start with, I absolutely love this game. This was so much fun. I look forward to every minute of it. I know I've already said this to you guys. I love the story crafting. I love theory crafting throughout the game. The voice acting was so good. The music was so good. I feel like they did a really great job of blending some of their older assets, meaning like their sounds, some of the sound effects from previous games they brought in, and they had a really cool kind of nostalgic sort of feel, like, oh, I know this from that game, whether it was NG or whether it was Deathmark 1. But they freshened it up and they brought in really beautiful new soundtracks, really beautiful new sound effects. It was super cool to see the fact that they changed the gameplay style to be able to walk around, to run. The environment was very interactive, and that was so much fun to be able to kind of go around. I love the fact that they did not constantly make you go back through the same areas and have to keep searching, because if you didn't, you would miss extra assets. Like, it seemed very straightforward. Once you cleared an area, they were going to block it off, and they were not going to allow you to like get distracted and try and go back in areas that weren't. Did I do it still anyways? Yes, because it's a new game and I wasn't sure exactly how they wanted the play to be. So the fact that they knew that there were going to be players that were going to be like, well, should I go back into this area? And they're like, no, hard lock, don't go there. I appreciate that. I appreciate that it helps you keep you on track. The story was very captivating. I love the idea that they had in the initial one, which is you have this overarching story, but then within it you have these like mini ghost stories. And it was what I really enjoyed about it, was like each chapter is its own little mini ghost story, right? And then you get to the next chapter and it's something new, it's something fresh. It feels like multiple games sort of like locked in together, and that is really refreshing. I really like doing that way, because some games like that I've played, especially horror games, you can kind of get tired of like just one storyline. Like if The Departed was just the only story, I don't know that it would be as, I don't know, imaginative, I guess. It wouldn't be as creative. It wouldn't be as imaginative. And I do love the fact that it sort of distracts you from the main goal. It tells you right away, this is your goal. You need to figure out who the Departed is, and you need to find them and, basically cleanse the area of them. But then you go into that chapter and here's a more crucial. Do you want to view the credits for our backers? You know what? Yes. Yes. Oh, special thanks. Look at that. I think that it's really I think it's really great that they do it that way, and it makes it very immersive, and it makes you want to know what the next chapter is going to be. What's the next monster going to look like? What's the next story going to be about? They're really heart-wrenching stories too. Like I know like horror is not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys horror, and I understand why. And I don't really try to push it on anyone. Yogurt helped to make this game a reality. Just want you to know that. But yeah, so like I really don't try to push it on anyone, and I try to make it very clear when my games are 16 plus age, they are going to be graphic. I try to put those markings either in the beginning of the game, in the description, in the title. I try to make it very clear, because it isn't for everyone and they can get graphic. But I do think that if you can appreciate that there are very dark stories that are told with the intention to open your heart as a human being and develop your sense of compassion, and also that they're kind of a warning, right? Oh my god, there's 62 of them. I thought there was 26. I'm gonna jump through these a lot faster. But just that, you know, they're kind of warnings to you that if you are not careful, you can become the type of monsters that you hear about in these types of stories. You know, you can become that cold, non-compassionate person. You know, you can become filled with regrets, and you can be filled with grudges that if you don't pay attention to them and you don't find ways to resolve them in your heart, you know, you're carrying them with you throughout your life, and who knows what comes after, right? It's not like there's a guarantee of anything. And I know there are some people that will tell you otherwise. They'll say, oh, there are guarantees. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the fact that you just don't know. No. You just don't know. And until it happens, you won't know for sure, I guess, is the way I want to express that. You don't know for sure, and you won't know for sure until it happens. So why not do everything you can to try and live a life that is filled with happiness and peace and generosity and grace, right? Why not give those things to yourself as well as to those around you? Because you just don't know. And that's kind of the thing that I take away from this is, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in yourself and get caught up in your own things and not look outside and see the things around you. So it's important to take time to consider those things. You know, I hope that makes sense, but that's what it is for me, is these games and these stories, they are reminders of our humanity and what it is to be compassionate and kind. And even though there are lots of monsters in these stories, it's really a story about the human condition. And it's a warning that even the most innocent can become monsters if we aren't careful with how we treat each other, and if we aren't careful with our actions, right? So that's kind of my takeaway from it, and that's why I've always been a fan of horror, is that a lot of times there is these little glimpses of truth that I feel like we need as reminders in our life. But a week has passed since that night. Konohara Academy hasn't changed much since my first visit, though this is only the calm before the storm. Even though the spirit has vanished, the truth and the havoc they wrought still remain. Weekly magazines and the like have been littered with articles about mysterious disappearances at H City School. It's only a matter of time before the press descends upon the school. When that happens, students will lose their normality once again. But there's nothing I can do about that. I walk past the students and enter the school. Unlike my first visit here, the bell doesn't ring. Well, that's good. Oh, you're here, Bilicium. Apologies. I've been quite busy lately. I've had my hands full with parents and police asking for explanations about the students who have disappeared. Though, all I can do is tell them that I don't know anything more than they do. And so I get called an irresponsible headmaster. Ha ha. Quite a few people have gone missing in a short amount of time, and yet we can't share what actually transpired. Being thrust into the limbo between reality and the spirit world, he's got a pretty tough situation. Sooner or later, I'll likely have to resign. Someone will be made to bear responsibility for these incidents. I've got no regrets though. The case is solved, and I can hold my head high knowing what happened. Mr. Konoha, I've read your report. I feel absolutely terrible for Sakamoto, and I can't believe Doryu and Kinakawa were actually the departed. I have no intention of revealing the truth, obviously. It's not like that would ally the concerns of anyone. We shall consider them to be missing persons like Sakamoto and the others. That should be fine. The real version of them are victims too. Actually, I was curious as to why the departed pretended to be Doryu and Kinakawa in order to hide among the students. There doesn't seem to be a need to mingle with everyone here in order to simply find a husband. I don't know either. There are a number of things concerning the departed that still don't make any sense to me. Such as, why were they in the clock tower? Maybe you'll get a bit more closure about that matter if you read this. He proceeds to hand me a leather journal from the nearby desk. This journal belonged to my grandfather, the first headmaster of Konohara Academy. A relative found this at their home and sent it my way. I know now isn't exactly the ideal time for you to see this, but feel free to take your time looking it over. Thanks, I'll borrow this then. I guess that's all from me, but let me thank you one last time. I appreciate all your help, Bilicium. You helped me save Konohara Academy. I also want to extend my sincere apologies for being harsh with you. Oh, don't worry about that. I know you were desperate to save both the school and the students. I'm glad you understand. That reminds me, Damon will be here today. Why don't you go talk to him? Sure thing. I say goodbye to Mr. Konoha and leave the faculty room. Damon has been waiting in the infirmary. Long time no see, Bilicium. How are you feeling, Damien? I think rest in that hospital bed actually did me some good. I'm feeling better. Well, better is relative for me. He's still got that lingering cough, but his voice is full of life. Seems like he's fully recovered. Sorry I had to abandon you midway. I ended up forcing everything on you. All the responsibility and emotional trauma. Many people died because of this case. It's a bit sad and lonely knowing no one will ever learn the truth besides those of us who were involved. True. Let us remember those who died at the very least. It's a cross that all of us who were involved in the incident will have to bear. Nevertheless, we live on, believing that we will save someone else another day. It's a remark Damon said during Hanako's case. The suffering of a doctor who constantly has to face the grim reality of death. Despite that, he's still determined to save others. I comprehend the weight of those words a bit more now. Haha, I'll keep that in mind. Having the spirit doctor tell me that made me feel blessed to be a doctor. Say, Bilicium, I I hope you keep pushing ahead in your own way. Despite all the struggles that come, there's gotta be someone out there who's just waiting for you to extend your hand. I finish my conversation with Damon, say my goodbyes, and leave the infirmary. Then I head straight out of the school. I find myself at the front gate. School's been over for a while, so there are a few students still milling around. Oh, Bilicium. Hello? What are you doing here, I? Damon told me you'd be here today. Looks like I almost missed you, huh? It's all because Xiao keeps slowing me down. Oh, shut it with your bullshit. You're the one at fault here. What's the point in making me dress like this even though the case is over? The case is over, but we're still gonna stick out like a sore thumb if we wear casual clothes to a school. Plus, this is another great chance to wear the Konohara Academy uniform. You look good in that blazer, Xiao. Yikes, stop it. You're giving me the creeps. I would have passed if I'd known it'd be like this. Yeah, totally. I worked 7 days straight and I finally got a day off. I just want to lay on the couch and drink. Both of you complain way too much. Looks like I invited both of them here. It feels like it's been an eternity since we all saw each other last. I asked some of the others too, but apparently they already had plans today. Glad to see you're doing well, old man, 'cause you look like a zombie when you were on that case. Is that so? You've got some bags under your eyes, though. Have you been staying up late? Oh, you mean this? I've been doing some work at home. Sometimes I get too caught up in my work, and by the time I realize it, the sun's creeping through the blinds. You're still living that kind of life, even after the case. You're one hell of a night owl. Rest is just as important as work, Bilicium. Should we go and grab something good to eat? I like that idea. I know a good ramen shop. They pile on the pork and green onions. Why ramen? Cake is much better, right, Bilicium? No, You don't have to work hard today, right, Bilicium? You're gonna collapse if you don't take a breather once in a while. And you're not good at that. Fine. In the end, I let myself be dragged to both a popular ramen place and a cake shop. I and Xiao are as bubbly as ever while Hiru chimes in occasionally with sardonic comments. Observing the scene in front of me, it feels like this is the first time I've been able to have a normal, ordinary day in quite a while. However, there's a strange feeling that I can't shake, as if I'm walking around in shoes that don't fit. I guess this is what readapting to mundane life feels like. I guess I'm just too used to having dark, unnatural forces inserting themselves in my life. I skimmed through the first headmaster's journal that Mr. Konoha loaned me. The stuff written inside is related to the female doll and the departed. The first headmaster knew about M-Town's horrific ritual, the departed's wedding. He apparently learned about it from a former M-Town resident. He wanted to offer condolences to the victims of the ritual and those who were claimed by the departed's wrath. He particularly pitied the Mayumura sisters, whose dreams of a happy marriage was betrayed. Inside the clock tower that was built to celebrate Konohara Academy's 10th anniversary, he built a room as a memorial service, complete with an altar where he offered a Western doll. That doll was the female doll in the scarlet dress. He got it from someone who dealt in spiritual items. It's said the female doll was made to be an offering for a pitiful soul and had hidden spiritual power. Learning that, the headmaster believed the doll could soothe the souls of the Mayumara sisters. He then dressed the doll in a beautiful bridal gown. In his mind, he was being thoughtful to the sisters who had their matrimonial wishes twisted into a grotesque ritual. His love for antique things was probably what led him to choose the red dress over a now traditional white gown. The first headmaster may have thought he was helping, but romanticizing the tragedy of the two brides eventually led to this disaster. The deep-seated grudge of the Mayumura sisters remained in the Konohara area, and that grudge began dwelling inside the female doll. Eventually, the departed was born. And that's where the journal ends. The first headmaster passed away after that. Perhaps the departed's curse killed him as well. He set the event in motion, and then, 60 years later, the departed appeared at Konohara Academy. No one can ever truly know how or why such things occur. We can only imagine and speculate. After the first headmaster's death, the female doll disappeared. It was taken from the clock tower, or at least the part normal people could access. The place the doll ended up must have been the Red Room, somewhere only the departed could access. They were awaiting a new vessel other than the doll, one in which they could make their dream of a happy marriage come true. That replacement finally came after so many years. One summer break, 2 female students visited the clock tower. Those students were the real Michio Kinakawa and Himiko Doryu. They were there for the clock tower renovation project to commemorate the school's 70th anniversary. The departed brought them to the altar room and they killed them using the curse of insects and mold, claiming their bodies and memories. The older sister, Mikiko Mayumura, became Himiko Doryu, while the younger sister, Michio, turned into Michiho Kinakawa. Then they hid in the school, attempting to find a husband that was suitable to fulfill their wish for a happy marriage. The rest is history. The departed used other spirits and notices as tests for their groom candidates. The Doryu and Michio I'd come to know were fakes. Everything was an act. Despite that, both of them looked and acted far too human. Their warm words, their gentle smiles and innocence. Did they really need to go so far just to test me to see if I was worthy of marriage? Why did they do all that? This is just a hunch. But maybe when the departed stole Doryu and Michio's memories, they might have noticed there were other ways to satisfy their deep, unrealized wishes. Doryu called that possibility love. The departed spent their days in the school trying to stay near their husband, having conversations and swapping smiles like any other youths. Born in a feudal town 100 years ago, maybe they never had the opportunity to experience that before. As a result, their love for their husband grew. This would have been something that they truly treasured, that might have been how they could act so naturally, protecting that glittering youth. Who knows? Maybe they even wished they could just continue living in that way. Except they were spirits. They couldn't escape their sanguine fate. In order to fulfill their desires for marriage, they ended up choosing the spirit's path. Perhaps it was the only way they knew to get what they craved. Dear husband, for so long, for so long, for you. I wonder what the departed was trying to say at that time. Did it have something to do with love? Even their intense resentment disappeared just by imagining M-Town's traditional wedding. Was that also because of their love? If that's true, my strange life as a teacher and the time I spent with them was not so in vain, because that way the memories we made together are what ended up saving those girls. The departed. A terrifying spirit that killed a lot of people in the last 2 months. Though considering their grudges and wishes, they were also poor victims themselves. The terror and sadness that filled them after learning both sides of the coin. I want to forgive the departed. I can't forgive the departed. No, I want to forgive them. I want to forgive the departed. I reach for my cup after that. Oh, yeah. It's the good stuff right there. Chugging down the liquid inside, I get up from my seat and check the time. The day has already changed. Late at night, guess it's time. Time to start working. I head to my room on the second floor, and then... oh my God. All right, all done. I finally managed to fix it. I was able to use the techniques I learned at the workshop I found when looking up information about doll care. Though it's fixed, her soul won't come back. This female doll saved my life. The departed's grudge moved from this doll to Doryu and Michio. So who was the spirit inhabiting this doll? I have a hunch. It may have been the souls of the real Michio and Doryu. Those two girls were brimming with spiritual energy, which is likely why the departed chose to claim their bodies. I have a hunch that their souls dwelled inside the doll after they were killed. The way the doll's disappearance... The way the doll's appearance changed as the departed transformed might have been evidence that the girls' souls were still connected to their bodies. So the doll was wandering around the school without their memories, not knowing what to do. Despite being in that confused state, their fear and resentment of the departed still remained. That's why they helped me. Still, what's the point of me fixing this doll? It's not like it'll speak again if it's mended. Plus, even if it were to talk, what useful information would it possibly have for me? As far as I know, the souls contained inside this doll belong to the actual Michio and Doryu, not the fake versions who considered me their teacher. It's a pointless undertaking, and I have a feeling it'll only make me feel emptier inside. So why do I keep doing this? I guess it's a form of prayer. It won't change anything, though I also believe that it isn't for nothing. I believe some souls will be saved if I do this. Hang on a little longer, you two. Mr. Bilicium. The character, the female doll, has been added to the gallery. Well, there we go. That is officially the end, the finale, the last bit of tea in the bottom of my cup. Yeah, gosh, that was a lot. So I'm going to end this here. I did all of my prattling in regards to this series during the credits. And really, I don't know that there's anything more really to say. If you liked this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoyed this series, consider subscribing, because I will be doing more along these lines in the future. And if you have not played Deathmark 2, or NG, and you think that this might be something you would enjoy, I highly, highly recommend you go out and get the game. Because I want to see a Deathmark 3 so desperately in the near future. And anyone who can download it, purchase it, play it, talk about it, helps games like this become more of a reality in the future. So yeah, if you enjoyed, let me know. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you all so much. And as always, do take care, everyone.